Hey everybody, Rue here. Yeah, I'm totally kidding. I just totally sucked in some helium. Yeah, just 1 second. Let me get my regular voice back, and we'll actually do a real how to forge guide here. As it slowly comes back for me. Uh, the taste of helium, it's wondrous. So yes, this is Rue, and this is going to be my audio and visual rendition of the how to forge guide. Because I know a lot of you have actually read the how to forge guide in the forums, and the problem with that is I can only show you with words. I can't exactly, you know, it gets kind of confusing when you're going through everything and you're like, okay, well, I'm doing this step by step, but it's still kind of sloppy. So this is going to be the video one, and you'll be able to follow along or just watch it and, get the basics of forging. And forging is really one of the key elements that really is needed to be one of the top end players of the game. So we're just going to go ahead and teach you how to do that. So right now I'm in my info tab, and I am actually going to go into my inventory tab, and you'll see here that I have several items set up for this guide. Um, if you take a look at each of them, you can see they're each different rarities right now. I have an uncommon item which has one slot enchantable on it. Um, Notable items have two. Rares have three, and I'm going to go up to my guild tab to show you the rest of it. You got unique, which has four slots that are open. Legendary with five, and lastly, we have mythical items, and those have six slots available on them. So we're going to go back to our inventory tab, and this is going to be our little walkthrough. In order to start the forging, you actually have to click the hammer button with a plus sign next to it, next to an item. It opens up the screen here, and it says forge, and it'll say the item name. It also lists the enchantments it has on it. Right now we have a resist psionic damage by 12.6%. It also tells us what region is used. Right now the region being used is gray matter. In order to enchant it to your specifications, you have to click this hammer. And let me just note first that it costs 100 coin to destroy the enchantment. So if you go ahead and click that, the enchantment goes away. It takes a little bit of while, it's a little slow, but once it comes back, you get a drop box. Here it says no enchantments on there. It has an open slot and the enchantment drop box. So what we're going to want to do is open up the drop box and select the enchantment we want. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the Dropbox, and this is going to show, I have the materials needed for every enchant in the game. I mean, there's many, 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 many ones you can do. A lot of them are kind of obsolete, but a lot of them do come in handy. I'm going to show you the difference between them. This is a tier 1 enchant, and you can tell because it only costs 100 of the material and 500 coin to enchant, whereas a tier 2 will cost 10,000 region and 5,000 coin. And lastly, the highest tier, which is tier 3, is going to cost 1 million of a region and 50,000 coin. So we're going to go back up, and just for demonstration purposes only, we're going to do a 2.1% chance to freeze an opponent. It's going to cost 100 Freon vials and 500 coin. So once you select that, you're going to hover over the icon and it says Add Enchantment. So if you click that hammer, and once it loads, it'll show up. So as you can see, we now have a 2.1 chance to freeze the opponent on our item. It also has the Freon value. What dictates the percent chance is actually the item quality. As you can see here on the tooltip, when you hover over the item name, it's a high quality item. So in order to upgrade the quality and make this item better, you have to click the checkbox here next to the item name, and we're going to go over to upgrade quality. So once you do that, you click that, and the item will go away for a little while. Come back, you'll see that when the scroll bar comes back. Well, now we have our item back, and as you can see, when I hover over it, it actually has a 2.2% chance to freeze now, and it's now a quality, craftwork quality. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade that again, and once the scroll bar comes back, you'll see the next level of enchantment on it. A little slow. So we go over here, and now it has a 2.3%. As you notice, the base defense is also going up as we upgrade it, so keep an eye out for that. Now it is an exceptional quality, and in order to upgrade to the next level, which is elite, you're going to need to be level 5 at least, and your level is dictated here with the green text. The yellow text is your versus experience, which is for player versus player. So if you go ahead and look, you can see my item is now an elite quality, and the last level you can get to is going to be heroic. In order to get an heroic item, you need to be level 10. So as you can see, it's now 2.5% chance to freeze, and that's going to help you a lot. That's as high as it's going to go, so you can't really push it any farther than that. As you can see, the base's defense is at as high as it can go. Another couple of things to include for forging. If you just want to follow along with me here, I'm going to go to my rune, and as you can see here, the two enchants on here are add 37.5 to mind, and the regent used is Mind Orb, whereas the enchant below it is increases mind by 3.8%. What that does is it will increase your mind level by the modified, and the total level will be multiplied by 3.8%, which comes in handy after levels of 2000. The reason this doesn't have a regent name next to it is because you cannot enchant it yourself. And if you find this on an item, you're going to want to keep it there. If you delete it, you get nothing for it, and I'll show you that with this ring because I can spare that. So if I delete that, if you go over here, you'll notice that the enchantment was removed, but there was nothing shown for it. Whereas if I use this item and delete the enchantment from it, I receive 10 steel jaws for recycling. Um, but be careful with recycling items that have the stuff like increases luck by 1.7%, or my items that have like 3.8% mind increase, because these items are really worth a lot, and once you delete the enchant, you can't get it back. You can enchant it yourself, so really keep an eye out for those. Another thing to look out for is items with paper or stone material. I'll show you that using my runes. The last thing I'm going to show you in this guide is how to use a treasure key. Treasure keys are named based on the area they were found in, or with login lottery, they're pretty much random and they're in your level range. So I'm going to go ahead and use a Firebat Maw treasure key, and to use it, you're going to go down, and you see I have the key right here. There's really nothing special about it except for that it's a key. Keys are really useful because if you click this key icon here that says open a treasure chest, you get a bunch of treasure boxes that open up underneath the area name and picture. So if you want to go ahead and just kind of pick a random chest, you go ahead and do that, and I usually just pick 1 through 9. You can do any one of them, it really doesn't matter. But I'm going to click the 8th chest because that's my lucky number. As you can see from the green glow, I got a rare item from the chest, which will load eventually. Um, Once it loads. As you can see here, this is the item that dropped. Treasure keys are really helpful because they really help you get rare and unique items really quick. You can save them up for when you gain your levels, and once you have them, you can go ahead and equip them to your character. So that's how you forge, and that's how you open a treasure key. One last thing I want to add in about the treasure keys is that once you get one dropped from an area, if you keep grinding at that area, you cannot get another key drop unless you move it to a different character or sell it or use it. So keep in mind that you won't be getting 5 keys from a grind at a time. You can only have one in your inventory at one time from that specific area. So just keep that in mind. The last thing I wanted to show everybody is how to get materials and regents. And I'm going to show you here. This is my materials and regents list. Everybody has this. It'll tell you how much you can hold. The limit for that is 1 billion. You really won't need that much. As you can see here, my steel, I only have 99 million. And I mean, you're constantly using them, you're constantly selling them. I mean, you really do not need more than 10 million in order to be effective. So if you want to push your cap further, by all means, go ahead. But to get items and materials, you're going to have to click the checkbox, which you use for upgrading the quality. And if you go down, you can see recycling, which you can recycle to a shop, which I suggest doing it every time because it costs 10 coin. Whereas if you recycle with a hobo when you're not in, recycling with a hobo will cost 100 coin, which is 10 times more. So save your money, go to an inn, recycle the item, and as you can see, I've got 200 bits of steel and 1,000 snowballs. You can really kind of tell what you're going to get if you kind of scroll your cursor over an item name. As you can see, the material is shell, where the regent is nerve gas, and that gives you a chance to paralyze. And if you really want to find out what the rest do, just read the rest of the guide. The text guide will help you out with that. I've got to wrap things up. I got to keep this to a 10-minute cap, so I hope this guide helps you out. And send any questions or comments to bluedorku@yahoo.com. That's my email. Let me know what you thought. As always, best of luck on your drops, on your duels, and on your conquering. Take it easy, Domain.